What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Shopper channel, coming to you with a St. Patrick's Day edition of NBA Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. Sláinte, everybody. Be safe. Don't drive. Just walk. I'm going to walk to a bar 2 blocks away. That's going to be good times. You should have good times too. But anyway, we got a ton of basketball before I get there, which it'll be a late night for me. But I'm excited. We got ourselves 68% off using March Madness promo code DANCE. You can sign up for that down at the link below. What is that? 68% off Portfolio EV, which we are in version 2 of. And version 2 is sick. It is disgusting in the way that the kids mean that. It is awesome. It's a more applicable word for it. But anyway, promo code DANCE down at the link below, 68% off. It's normally $100 a month. You get it for $32 for an entire month. That is right at $1 a day with NBA, MLB. Yeah, you heard me, MLB, and I'm going to cover that on this video here tomorrow for Tuesday as we cover the Dodgers and Cubs. Been looking forward to getting back in the MLB streets, but we got promo code DANCE. It's March Madness. College basketball, been firing it up there. I'm mad at Wisconsin. I'm very mad at Wisconsin, although hit the big Dookie. That was nice. The sounds like I took a dump. No, the Duke play, -6, go me. Up over 5 units in like 12 college basketball bets. No big deal. Premium Discord knows. But anyway, use code DANCE. Would love to see you guys there because that version 2 is ridiculous. But without further ado, we go leans in the early section. Before I get to my plays, all of them likes on today's board as well. But first, we are recapping last week, the week that was. Fire it up, producer Jacob. Said we were going to do it. We're going to continue to do it. Monday, that was kind of a bailout with Adebayo plus 135. Ended up running really cold on spreads. Had closing line value Tuesday, Wednesday, all over the place. That was nifty here, but we go to Thursday, Friday. We continue on the trend here. You can see on the next slide. Do we have another slide for? There it is. Thursday, Golden State -6.5 there. That was nice to come through. They just murdered. I mean, we murdered all the spreads on the later half of the week. And the money line, well, Sacramento, great second half, guys. Awesome job. Awesome effort. Anyway, ended up down just over a unit there, 1.19 units over the course of it. I usually bet every single thing. So where it says -110 there, it's 0.55 units. It would be there that I'm laying for half unit plays. Likes, those are half unit. Locks, those are going to be a unit or more. You're going to be getting a lot of mixture here over the course of the next couple of weeks because we don't get as many props night before. That is why I have the prop thread over on X at Eric Lindquist. And then also stuff like Onyeka Okongwu, who we just jammed on Friday. A unit and a half, a masterclass, and covered that in like 3 quarters. So that was useful, friends, useful. But overall, since we started doing the tracking here, doing the recap, starting from Lindy and Friends, 11-13, down a little less than a unit here on this video. Got some room for improvement. I think there is room for improvement, plus some good lean reads that have led to some profit. But overall, we got to get better. So we're going to do that here, plus MLB starts this week. I think we're going to look a lot better in the results column, but wanted to recap for you. And now, without further ado, lean time. Monday's plays, baby. We got ourselves Miami and the New York Knicks there. I'm going Miami plus 7.5. Purely because the modeling likes it, but I don't. Again, this is kind of when your no ball takes meet the data and you try to meet somewhere in the middle. And I'm not a huge, trying to no ball all the time, although I feel like I watch way more sports than the average human being by 99%. All I do is sit here and work and then watch and work again. But anyway, Miami plus 7.5 is something that should be a like play, a half unit play. And I kept it off the card purely because even without Brunson out there, Andrew Wiggins is questionable. Has me a little gun shy. That's like 35 minutes you're replacing with, and even Haywood Highsmith can't get dusted off anymore. But some of these other ancillary pieces on Miami, they have moments. Jaime Jaquez has moments. I'm not going to call him good because he's not right now. Jovic is out. Burks is out. It's a little bit thinner. So I'm going to stay away from that one for now. Anyway, the next up, Chicago at Utah. They got slapped on the wrist real hard, but there's 0 planets we should probably be betting on the Chicago Bulls when they're the preferred side of things. So -4.5 for them. Took some Vooch unders, came off the bench right off the bat. So we've capitalized twice in Premium Discord on unders recently, just going off the top of my head. Nikola Vucevic, ridiculous opening numbers there on him. And PJ Washington, ridiculous opening numbers on him. His first game back, cashed both of those. We want to be paying attention to some of these tanking teams. It's very frustrating from a spread perspective, but props, if you could read the tea leaves this time of the year, that's where we're going to find our edges. And that is the prop thread at Eric Lindquist over on X. And obviously the premium Discord, $5 still, Lindy 5. If you guys want to jump in there, we got ourselves Denver at Golden State over 239. As I was getting onto this video, Jokic, questionable on the injury report. Aaron Gordon, questionable on the injury report. Jamal Murray, questionable on the injury report. Are they ducking Golden State? I doubt it. There's only 4 games going down here on Tuesday, so it is truly a spot where I can't imagine that they're going to duck them. They'd have to be pretty dinged up. But Jokic's elbow, I'm still just staying on high alert for it. And obviously the Lakers cashed that ticket for us on Friday. That was nice. Not just trying to give the shout out, but the things that went well. It's, tough sledding out there. Mason Plumlee, mad at him. Phoenix Suns, you guys haven't even heard about him here on this program purely because he's been like a late add to the card here recently with Nick Richards out on a couple of spots. Thank God Nick Richards played basketball on Sunday and I didn't have to deal with the ridiculousness. But Phoenix is on a back-to-back here. Toronto, they're actively not trying to win basketball games. It's insane. They kept my guy Scotty Barnes away from cashing 17.5 points because he didn't close in a competitive game against Portland. It is hilarious what these teams are doing this time around for tanking, but you can't take it personal. I even wrote that in my breakdown of Scotty Barnes because there was like a lot of ways where I think there was still failure waiting for us, and surely didn't play in the last 5 minutes against Portland. Awesome. Real fun. Anyway, 2 more leans that we got on the card here. Let's fire those up. We got ourselves Memphis. We got ourselves Sacramento. This one's interesting. Under 245 is going to be my lean there, purely because it's Memphis. You know by now what I'm doing. And obviously I would have had like a neutral 8-8 week in terms of record. Again, record doesn't matter as much as price, probability, and just winning money. That's what we're here for. If it's plus 200 and you go 50% on that, life looks pretty damn good, don't you think? It's like rain. Under 245 though, because Ja Morant ruled out, ended up firing plus 2.5 there in the Discord. But by the time you listen to this, I highly doubt plus 2.5 is still going to be available because it happened like 20 minutes ago. I'm waiting for some readjusted numbers at some other places, but there were some books, some shops that are available almost everywhere. You get my drift. You have an opportunity to still take advantage of that late news. Be careful. You don't want to go crazy with that because account health matters, but definitely think that Memphis, without Ja Morant, they continue to find ways to just punish me for no reason. Triple J is back in the mix, but Ja Morant already ruled out. Find that interesting because Luke Kennard, he can't keep getting away with it. Breaking Bad gif. Anyway, last game, Washington at Portland. Chris Middleton, this is something producer Jacob wanted to bring to the table. And you know what? I respect producer Jacob, even though it might not seem like it. Chris Middleton, 6-4 with the Washington Wizards. 6-4. The Washington Wizards, without him, 9-47. They have won 40% of their games this season with Chris Middleton in a uniform. He has been there since middle February. Just saying, it is insane that Chris Middleton is on this basketball team. They're limiting his minutes. Still doesn't matter. He's making an effect. And obviously, this is Portland on a back-to-back. So pay very close attention here. Washington, want to double-check this here, too, because I didn't remember this. I had a note in the corner saying, double-check. Washington does not play on Tuesday. So I think you're getting this one straight up from both sides, more than likely. Obviously, Portland ended up having some guys dinged up. Anthony Simons ended up in that game. Kind of a weird spot. It's a weird spot. I said that a lot through those 6 lanes. So before we get over there, though, friends, Portfolio with E, let me throw a reminder for you before we start getting to the plays. Promo code DANCE. Actually, that's the wrong theme music, but 68% off your first month using code DANCE. What? Promo code DANCE because it's March Madness. You guys get it? Haha. Yeah. Portfolio EV is ridiculous. That's really all I can tell you, is that the thing is forward-facing, giving you results on the front end, telling you exactly which markets it's profitable in, which markets it's not, trimming down which markets you should be avoiding, and then also giving you historical ROIs. There are tons of props on a day in, day out basis. We have version 2 now, which has been curated for all the money lines, spreads in the college basketball streets. I cannot wait for you guys to see the functionality of this puppy here and ready to rock for week 1 here of the tournament. Use code DANCE at the link below. There's a lovely link down there. Deal ends 3/19 at midnight, so you have a little time, but take advantage now. Get yourself familiar, and I'll see you guys in the Portfolio EV streets. Alrighty, y'all, to the likes we go. Yeah, buddy, Philly. They're so bad at tanking. Like, you can't even tank right. What are we doing? What is Philly actually doing with their lives? They played some Sunday morning basketball. It was just insane to watch this team do asinine things, which is just defying logic. What's going on with this basketball team? They couldn't get out of their own way, found a way to beat a Dallas team that has nothing to tank for. Dallas is 33-36. They're just bad. And Quentin Grimes wanted revenge. He puts up 28 points, 6 assists in that outing. Saw some sharp people on over 3.5 assists. Shout out to TKDFS. But I did not get on that play, unfortunately. However, I'm not going to miss an opportunity here to bet against the 76ers, where they can really put their tanking skills to the test. Yabusele, I bet he's going to be out here in this spot. We've got Oubre, Maxey, who has that lower back sprain and finger injury. They can finagle their way around that one. Obviously, the NBA is clamping down. They are seeing exactly what's going on in the tanking streets, and they do not like it. They do not like it, Sam I am. They do not like green eggs and ham. Shout out green. Better wear it tomorrow or you'll get pinched, and that's always creepy. But Houston, minus 13 here. I ran a lot of the pace metrics. Even with Fred VanVleet on the floor instead of Amen Thompson, we're looking at an improved defensive team here in the Houston Rockets, where they are playing Jabari Smith and Tari Eason on the floor at spurts together. Hell, they've started them together at times, although I don't think that is going to be the norm that we get from them going forward. Fred VanVleet, Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, Tari Eason, Alperen Sengun. Back to the regular starting five. Actually, not really, because Jabari Smith, he's been, replaced by Tari Eason in the starting lineup, as he should be, because Tari Eason's actually really fun to watch. But Houston, minus 13. It'd be really fun if they just blitzkrieg Philly into the pond. I don't know what pond, but a pond for St. Patrick's Day. Maybe the Green River in Chicago. That'd be cool. Are we done with me talking? Cool. Houston minus 13. I really like this play. Indy, they're getting 8 points, taking on my Minnesota Timberwolves. Minnesota on the second half of a back-to-back. And this comes down to Q tags and where you adjust based on news. Now, Minnesota, I'm not going to call them a duck spot because there's a lot of teams that are ducking. I don't know. We saw Denver be somebody that the Lakers recently ducked. And when I say duck, I just mean that you rest a lot of your core pieces, or it's a back-to-back where you just kind of get one of those untimely spots. Now, does Rudy Gobert play on the back-to-back? I'm not sure if he does here for the Timberwolves. This is going to be their first where it could potentially have him be back in the mix since he got back from injury. I lean towards him being out, even though obviously there's no injury news going on with that right now. They're in the middle of a 99-74 beatdown of the Utah Jazz, so that's pretty straightforward. But this is a huge total for a Minnesota team that is obviously doing a great job right now at limiting opposing teams on the interior with, well, not surprising, Rudy Gobert back in the mix and Julius Randle playing some inspired defense recently as well. I've actually been, I'm not going to say happy, but encouraged. I've been encouraged by Julius Randle's effort since he came back from injury as well. I think he realizes that this Minnesota team has enough to get through the West in its current construction this season. And I hope he just stays healthy. And obviously you won't get Thibodeau minutes coming down the stretch. So he should be pretty fresh come playoff time for the first time in a long time. Since his entire Knicks tenure was a disaster come playoff time. So we're looking at Minnesota here doing enough. And Miles Turner, gigantic Q tag, and Halliburton and Nesmith with Q tags on Indy's side as well. And you run the numbers. If you get all three of them out, this is a gold mine, and I wish I would have locked it. But I think even if you get just Miles Turner out or just Halliburton out, you're in really, really good shape with the under of 231. And if all three are in, got it at 229, so it's not like a complete stone cold disaster. Again, the Halliburton piece would be the best to fall. Miles Turner, second best, and I think actually more likely than Halliburton. And last up, I do think we're looking at a spot where Nesmith ends up sitting in this spot, but under 231, it looks good in any iteration. This looks good in any iteration too. Detroit minus 6 taking on New Orleans. And New Orleans, this is one of those teams that I have a tough time figuring out exactly what their game plan is with this tank mode because, well, they should be in tank mode, but Zion's been playing a lot recently here. Maybe this is them just figuring out exactly what needs to happen in their offseason because Zion, this current iteration of him where he is slimmed down, healthy, not eating as much gumbo in New Orleans. I love Zion Williamson, not just from his Duke days and his dunk tapes on YouTube, but I think he's just a really good basketball player and a top 10 player when fully healthy. It just certainly occurs that he's not fully healthy. This is a weird one, though, where he's got a personal reason that he is out right now. Not sure exactly what that is or what the reasons are there, but I do know Kelly Olynyk questionable with a left finger sprain. We're going to know immediately in the morning when he goes through shoot around or not, whether or not he is in that game. As for Yves Missi, he's got a Q tag next to his name as well. It's a left ankle sprain that's kept him out the last two. I do think he continues to sit in this spot, and that opens up the middle of the paint where you don't have Kelly Olynyk and Yves Missi and potentially not Zion Williamson, who will also have a pretty clear idea, although he could not go through shoot around, personal issue, gets back with the team and plays. But we got Metkovic, Carlo Matkovic, who's going to be on the interior playing the 5, started at the 5 last time out. They have Mo Bamba on this roster now, who confirmed not good at the basketballs. Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart should have a field day in this basketball game. Now, you got to limit knocking down the tray with CJ McCollum and obviously Trey Murphy, Jose Alvarado off the bench, Jordan Hawkins dance in his khaki pants. There's nothing better. Lots of ways for New Orleans to still try to keep this one competitive. And yet there are so many blowout scripts where Detroit takes reins on this game and goes nuclear, especially on that interior. Tobias Harris, too, kind of a sneaky beneficiary. So pay attention to the prop market. I have an auspicious amount of interest here on the interior of Detroit. I think that's definitely something to pay attention to here. So watch morning injury report, shoot around, and it'll adjust for the New Orleans props, but it won't adjust enough for how much Detroit could destroy them in the pick and roll. So just throwing it out there, Detroit -6 is the play, but tons of prop interest in this game on both sides. And the last game of the night, hit the like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Again, I love this format because it's going to allow me to do everything in one video, and we'll be able to break it down and slice it when we have MLB showing up. So don't worry. I understand exactly where you're worried about. Oh, I don't want to miss it. I want to have all of my plays in one video so that you can access them, so that you can find them easier. And then, hey, if you want to cut out the NBA portion, we have thumbnails down there. Producer Jacob does an amazing job day in, day out. Give him some love if you wouldn't mind. Obviously, with the recaps and doing all this new stuff, he has been an absolute warrior. So I appreciate him working with me so that we can have a more manageable NBA and MLB season simultaneously, plus MLB. It was an absolute smash fest and the best season I've ever had betting any sport in any one single season. So we want to run that back. Yeah, I'm talking home run props, that is for sure. But we got to talk one more NBA game. Wanted to set that up for the MLB coming tomorrow. San Antonio taking on the Lakers, and this is very straightforward. San Antonio shouldn't be getting 11 points in a spot where Luka Doncic should be resting on the back-to-back. Now, Austin Reeves, you're going to have your eyes open when you see 39.5, 40.5, 41.5 PRA as his opening number, coming off of just slamming it the last 2 times without LeBron and Luka on the floor. Just destroyed his PRA almost in points entirely both times around. He had 37. His 38.5 PRA line was just dead on arrival. But I mean, he was just to the moon with it. The opposite of dead on arrival, like angelic. I hope he sucks tomorrow, though, because I have the San Antonio Spurs here. Luka, back-to-back. Tons of pieces with the Lakers dealing with injuries, not just LeBron James. I doubt we get a full punt. I doubt we get Luka playing, but tons of ways where San Antonio, even without Fox, even without Wemby, find ways of being competitive. I do think this is one where Jackson Hayes, who's been questionable a couple of times on the injury report, maybe he ends up out when we have a chance to invest on, well, yeah, we're not going to Bismack Biyombo on the other side. Jeremy Sohan, actually a pretty good spot for him. And that does it for another edition, and the last edition of NBA Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks alone, because, well, actually, no, tail end of the week, MLB will be gone again. Then we'll, wherever we have 2 MLB games. I'm so excited there for Tuesday. But we got Monday. It's ready to rock. I'm ready to roll. Might throw some college basketball in this week, too. Ooh, might have a guest or two jump on to give you a college basketball play for March Madness. But speaking of that, promo code DANCE at the link below. Portfolio EV. Throw it up on the screen one more time for the people. Producer Jacob, 68% off your first month. Promo code DANCE at the link below. It's $100 a month. It's going to just be $32 for an entire month of it. Take advantage of your free trials. Take advantage of your 68% off. Would love to see you there in the premium Discord as well. Lindy 5, if you guys want to check it out. Myself, Eitan Shander, lots of other great people. But 68% off for the premium tool, Portfolio EV. Promo code DANCE. Alrighty, y'all, let's get out of here. Producer Jacob, thank you. I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the NBA streets on Monday.